Hey everyone, it's Pete and Kate here with a market update for December of 2022 versus December of 2021. And what you have to keep in mind throughout this this market update is December of 2021 was probably the best December in Calgary Real Estate Board history. So if we talk about a decrease in sales and stuff like that, we are comparing it to probably the best December in Calgary Real Estate Board history. What you want to keep in mind though, too, is at the end of this video, we have some interesting stats for you, including what was the highest price house to sell in all of Calgary last year, and what was the cheapest place to sell in all of Calgary last year too. So stand by and we'll get to your monthly market update in 1 second. All right, so in terms of sales in December of 2022, what did they do compared to sales in last year in 2021?
Well, compared to last year in 2021, they actually went down by 30%. Again, mentioning that last year's market was crazier, so let's just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I remember as a realtor thinking, are we going to get Christmas holidays this year? Because we were just running. New listings were down 16.2%, so the amount of new houses coming onto the market was down as well.
Yeah.
And this is actually becoming a problem because with inventory now down in total, down about 15% from last year. And last year, we were selling a ton, but we were burning through inventory mad. Inventory is still coming down, and it's becoming a bit of a problem or a benefit depending on what side of the equation you're on. If you're thinking of selling your house, it's a great time to sell, especially if you're a condo or a townhouse right now. There's just nothing for sale. And if you are for sale and you're priced half decently, boom, you're gone. So make sure that you do, go over the pricing with your agent right, and make sure you get the price right, because you could be able to get more for it than you think you can right now, just because there's such a shortage of supply and such high demand for condos right now in Calgary. It's nuts. And then, so as a result of that too, like I said, we're seeing months of supply come up a little bit. So we're at 1.84 months of supply. So whatever that was, that like a month and
what, 3?
Month and 3 weeks,
yeah,
something like that.
3 weeks,
yeah. What about pricing though? What's the total residential price?
So for the total residential price, it actually went up by 8% compared to what it was last year.
Yeah, which is good. We were higher earlier in the year, but for December to December be up 8% is still good.
Yeah.
It's like earlier in the year we saw detached pricing really storm up and come down again. So again, like I said, detached in total right now, December versus December, we're up 10% in price. Our benchmark price now is like $620, which is pretty good compared to last year, but it was higher, and so the last few months it's been sort of trickling down a little bit, not much, but a little bit. What about the semi-detached though?
Semi-detached is up as well, 9%. So it's about at 563,000 is what we're looking at.
Yeah, and I think there's room for that to grow in the next little while too. Like these interest rate increases have actually, they put the brakes on sales a little bit with the higher end, especially detached market. But once you get into condos and townhouses, apartment style condos and townhouses, and then even the semi-detached market, I think you're going to see a little bit more of a value increase on those ones. The biggest increase we saw actually was from townhouses, which if you've been watching my market updates for a while, you'll remember that a couple of years ago we're going like, holy mackerel, like what's going on with townhouses? Nobody was interested in them, and as a result they got so cheap that now it's like when you start at a low base price going up 14.5%, which is what townhouses have done in December versus December last year. It's a little easier to do when you start at a lower price range. And they were probably underpriced for a while, so they're getting back into better, decent pricing. The average, or I shouldn't say the average, the benchmark price for a townhouse now in Calgary is like $360,000, so that's okay. What about apartments?
Apartments are actually up as well, 9.2%, so 9%. So that's sitting at about 275,000.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like the apartment market, when you break it down, it's really, the downtown market still has so much room to grow. And I've been saying this for a while, and it's gonna happen. Trust me on this. In fact, it is starting to already. There's a couple of apartments that my wife and I invested in earlier this year. I saw this coming, and I put my money where my mouth is. And we're probably seeing an increase of $30,000 or $40,000 in equity on those in the last 6 months. But I still say that's nothing compared to what it's going to do. I still think, we are seeing jobs return to the city. We're seeing the downtown start to come alive again. If this awful stuff keeps happening in in Ukraine and stuff like that, which of course we're not cheering on, but if it continues to happen, I think you're going to continue to see prices of oil and gas go up and stuff like that too. The world's going to be demanding our product. So again, shortage of supply, increased demand, we're going to see those prices go up again as well. So in terms of the city though, Caitlin, is there an area of the city that's been...
Yeah, the Northeast is actually up 13.3% compared to what it was last year for their benchmark prices. But right behind that, coming real close, is the East. So that's Forest Lawn,
Dover, Albert Park. Yeah. Like those, the Northeast and that, 17th Avenue down to Pagan Trail areas, they've actually been roaring here for a while. They're up 13% over last year. So when we talk about the total residential price being up 8%, they're almost double the average. So in terms of the areas that are holding the city back right now in terms of price growth, and I still say that's where the opportunities are downtown, right, at 4.5% increase in price. And kind of the Northwest, which is only up 6% in prices from last year. So of course, there's so much more that has to be discussed within this. Like, if you're in a higher end area sometimes too, like some areas of the Northwest, a 6% increase is actually not bad considering the damage that's been done with these higher interest rates and stuff like that. So again, like if you're starting at a lower base price, to go up 15% is easier than, if you're at $1 million. So anyways, having said that, it's like we say every time, call us. If you're thinking about selling this year, call us and actually maybe do it quick, because as we know, the early bird gets the worm. Right now, there's no inventory. So if you're thinking of selling, it's a great time to do that. You get a 2-month possession date on your sale. And in that time, you'll see lots of options come available, because right now there aren't any. So you'll get more options to buy as the market increases. And then what you'll see is, as the market gets to be aware as you are, as a client of Pete and Kate, as the rest of the market starts to catch up to what you're going to see all kinds of houses start to flood the market. So I suggest, get listed earlier rather than later, and be the early bird that gets the worm. If you're thinking of buying, prices will be going up is what I'm suggesting, only because, again, a clear, result of an increase of a lack of supply. It normally means an increase in pricing. And again, we keep seeing people move here, right, from Vancouver and Toronto and stuff like that.
Still seeing a lot of that come by. So don't forget to like our Facebook page, Moving to Alberta.
Yeah, it continues to grow.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we keep ignoring it, but we we really need to do more work on that and get more people involved in it. But it keeps growing, and we keep putting up some more information on there. Some good stats. If you have information, or if you have friends or relatives, because they're not necessarily the same things, are they?
No.
We just went through Christmas, so we remembered. If you have friends or relatives or relatives that are friends living in Toronto or Vancouver, get them to sign on to Moving to Alberta. They can ask any questions of us that way really, really easily. We get back to them really quick. So, Kate, what was the cheapest house to sell in Calgary in 2022?
The cheapest house to sell, drum roll.
And it wasn't really a house, but the cheapest property, let's say
cheapest property was $59,000.
$59,000. It was a little one-bedroom condo. Where was it?
Highland Park, sold by Sharon McLeod. Shout out to Sharon.
Yeah, like the cheapest condo, like $59,000. It was listed for $60,000. It took still took 2 months to sell it for. I don't know what the deal is with it. I never saw it, but in terms of the highest price place to sell, this is nuts. Because it's like $4 million more than the next one down, if I remember correctly, or something like that. $7 million was the highest price house to sell in Calgary last year. So shout out to John McNeil. I think he's with Century 21. I'm pretty sure he is. He used to be with my office, but John McNeil, great job. $7 million for this place. Amazing. 3/4 acre lot in Upper Mount Royal, and the house was like 10,000 square foot house plus a 1,700 square foot suite above a garage. It's just wild. If you want to see it, let me know. Happy to send you the listing, and you can scroll through the pictures and imagine what it'd be like to be in that tax bracket. But without imagining what the taxes would
be. Without imagining what the taxes would be like.
Hey, if you're thinking of selling your property, give us a shout. Happy to help you. Job one would be determine what the best price is for your place, but we also always send in Tanis, our amazing stager, to make your place look like it's coming out of a catalog at no expense to you. We pay for her. And then we always get professional photos done and stuff like that too. We make a video of your property. Check out the last video we did. That was for a half duplex in Chestermere, 168 viewpoint or something like that. Our videographer Lydia does an amazing job of those. And so we'll get professional photos, we'll do a video, and we'll let all your neighbors know too. And there's just a bunch of things we do that if you want to, like I said, if you're thinking of selling, give us a shout. We'll explain to you what we do that's different, and we feel better. And I think most of our clients agree, right? Like, what are we up to now? Like 70 plus 5-star reviews in a row. So we're happy to get those. If you haven't sent us a review and you'd like to, feel free. We'd love to get your feedback too on how we do. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Bye.